You didn't arrive here by chance. Your soul has been seeking this message. Your restless heart, the one that keeps circling back to a single name, a single face, that feeling that you've left a question unanswered. It guided you here. This is for the one who feels a gravity they cannot explain, for the one who has tried to move on, only to find their thoughts pulled back like a tide to a distant, magnetic shore. This is your confirmation. That pull isn't a problem to be solved. It's a signal to be understood. Tell me, have you ever looked at someone and felt a deep, quiet knowing, as if you were remembering them, not meeting them for the first time? It's a sense of familiarity that defies all the logic of dates and timelines. You can't pin it down. You try to dismiss it, call it infatuation, loneliness, or an ideal you've built in your mind. Yet, when the noise of the day fades, there it is again. Not as a frantic want, but as a steady, persistent presence. A resonance. That's the first clue. This isn't about your mind creating a story. It's about your soul recognizing one. But let's pause here, because the biggest question, the one that breeds the most doubt, now rises to the surface. How can you possibly know this is real? How can you distinguish a soul-deep bond, a true connection written in the fabric of your destiny, from a beautifully painful story your own wounded heart is weaving to cope with loneliness or past hurt? Your logical mind, the part that's been bruised before, will immediately shout the warnings. You're idealizing. You're setting yourself up for pain. This is just dependency in a spiritual disguise. And that voice is so loud, so convincing in its desire to protect you from being hurt again. Yet, there is another kind of knowing. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't panic, it rests. And it leaves behind unmistakable markers, signs that are felt more than they are proven. The first, and perhaps most profound, is an unshakable anchor of calm. I'm not talking about the absence of missing someone. I'm talking about a foundational peace that exists even within the missing. It's a serenity that runs deeper than the surface-level anxiety of, do they like me? Or, when will I hear from them? This peace comes from a spiritual certainty. Your deepest self, your essence, recognizes this connection's energy as safe, as eternal. Even in silence, even in physical distance, there is a quiet harbor within you that remains still. You know, on a level beyond thought, that the connection itself is never truly in danger. Ask yourself, do you feel this specific, profound peace with everyone you're attracted to? With every past love? The answer tells you everything. You know this is different. Now, let's explore the second sign, which is perhaps the greatest gift this connection brings, the sudden awakening of your own power. Has this person, simply by existing in your awareness, acted as a catalyst? Have you found latent talents stirring, a newfound courage to speak your truth, a deeper capacity for compassion, or a drive to create that you didn't recognize in yourself before? It's as if their presence, or even just the thought of them, reminds your soul of its own forgotten blueprint. They don't complete you. That's a myth of lack. Instead, they remind you that you are already whole, and in doing so, urge you to expand into the full expression of that wholeness. This connection isn't about shrinking your world to fit one person. It's about exploding the boundaries of your world, because that one person reflects back to you your own infinite potential. The strength you feel isn't borrowed from them. It's your own soul's energy, awakened and amplified by the resonance you share. This brings us to the third, and perhaps most compelling evidence: the inexplicable endurance of the feeling. You've likely taken this feeling apart 100 times. You've analyzed it under the harsh light of logic. Is this just loneliness? Yet, when you spend time with good friends or family, the feeling remains. Is it just physical attraction or chemistry? But it persists long after a crush would have faded. Am I just emotionally dependent? Yet, you function in your life, you achieve, you laugh. But the echo of this connection is a constant, gentle hum in the background. Fear-based attachments, needs born from wounding, they fade when confronted with time, distraction, or new opportunities. This does not fade. It remains steady and sure, a low-burning ember that never quite goes out, even when every external circumstance, distance, silence, other people, should have smothered it long ago. This persistence isn't stubbornness. It is the quiet, insistent voice of your own destiny, refusing to let you close a book that is still being written. What you feel was placed within you. It is a soul memory, and you cannot delete a memory that belongs to your essence. So, we arrive at the great paradox. If this bond is so authentic, so woven into the fabric of your being, why does it often come with such profound distance? Why the silence, the separation, the seemingly insurmountable space between you? This is where the human heart struggles to trust the universe's blueprint. We think if something is meant to be, it should be easy, seamless, and immediate. But the universe operates on a different principle. It values strength, consciousness, and wholeness over mere convenience. The space between you is not a void of abandonment. It is a crucible for transformation. It was never engineered to destroy what you feel, but to forge it into something unbreakable. Think of the most beautiful, durable sword. It isn't shaped in a single, gentle moment. It is heated, hammered, folded, and cooled repeatedly to remove impurities and align its structure. This distance is your soul's forge. Both of you had essential lessons to learn, old wounds to heal that were entirely your own, and individual strength to gather that could only be found in solitude. The universe does not unite fractured halves, hoping they'll prop each other up. It brings together fortified, sovereign wholes who choose to build something greater than themselves. The separation, then, isn't a sign of failure. It is evidence of the connection's significance. Something this powerful requires equally powerful vessels. Let's be brutally honest for a moment. This period of separation often feels like punishment. It feels like a cruel test you never signed up for. But what if we reframe it entirely? What if this is not punishment, but the most sacred preparation you could undertake? Imagine two soulmates, twin flames, or destiny-connected souls meeting before they are ready. The sheer voltage of the recognition, combined with unhealed wounds, unchecked egos, and old fears, would be chaotic. It could be emotionally destructive. The higher plan, your soul's own contract, will not allow a connection of this magnitude to shatter on the rocks of immaturity. So, this pause is instituted. It is not an act of cruelty, but an act of profound, preemptive protection. It is the universe saying, "This is too important to risk. You need to get ready." You are being given the most critical, non-negotiable task of your spiritual journey, to build an unshakable foundation within yourself. Your mission during this time is not to wait passively for a sign from them. It is to become the kind of person who no longer needs the sign to feel whole. Your mission is to find completeness within your own being. Because here is the undeniable truth. If you require another person to feel okay, to feel worthy, to feel loved, then any future reunion would inevitably birth a relationship of dependency, not of partnership. It would be a cage, not a celebration. The universe is whispering to you now in this silence, "I don't need you needy. I need you sovereign. I don't need you waiting. I need you becoming." This, right now, is your sacred season of inner alchemy. How you use this time determines not if the connection evolves, but the quality of its future manifestation. The key is to shift from passive waiting to active becoming. The first and most vital practice is that of sacred release. This does not mean releasing the person from your heart. It means releasing the need for them to be the source of your happiness, your peace, or your validation. This is an act of supreme, terrifying, beautiful trust. It is you surrendering the outcome to a wisdom greater than your own, declaring, if this connection is part of my soul's journey, it will return not through my force, manipulation, or anxiety, but through divine alignment and mutual readiness. This state of unattached, assured knowing is the most magnetic energy you can hold. It says you are already full. The second task is the deep, often uncomfortable, work of healing your core patterns of lack. This very connection has acted as a spotlight, illuminating your hidden wounds, the fear of abandonment, the feeling of unworthiness, the belief that you must earn love. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, has used this bond to show you exactly what needs to be healed within you. Now you must become the source of your own validation. You must build your inner temple, a sanctuary of peace, self-respect, and unconditional self-love that no external storm, no person's silence or presence can ever penetrate or dismantle. This is non-negotiable. Your vibration, the energetic frequency you emit from this inner temple, is what attracts your reality. If you vibrate with the energy of lack, I need you to be complete, you will only attract more lack, more distance, or relationships that mirror that emptiness. If you vibrate from wholeness, I am complete, and I welcome a connection that reflects that. You become a magnet for a love that is mature, stable, and free. Therefore, reclaim your power by acting from the truth you feel, not from the fear you harbor. If this bond is truly destined, why would you operate from a place of anxiety, chasing, and scarcity? Your most potent action now is not an action of doing, but a state of being. Calm, assured, focused on your own path. Your state of consciousness is your greatest creative force. Every time you choose peace over panic, self-worth over stalking their social media, you are strengthening the very foundation your future connection will be built upon. And you must understand this crucial truth with every fiber of your being. This process of preparation is never, ever one-sided. While you are doing this courageous inner work, the same universal intelligence, the same divine energy is moving within them. Their silence is often not indifference. It is frequently the outer manifestation of their own fierce internal civil war. Their ego, the part terrified of vulnerability, surrender, and the terrifying depth of real intimacy, has built towering walls of pride, distraction, or fear. Right now, life is systematically removing their distractions. It is creating a quiet space so profound that they are finally forced to sit in the hollow echo chamber those walls were built to protect. They may try to fill the void with new people, obsessive work, or noise, but the unique echo of your connection remains, a haunting melody they can't mute. The universe sends them reminders, in dreams that feel more real than waking life, in sudden memories that ambush them in quiet moments, in a song that plays and slices right through their defenses. Their resistance is being softened, not to torment them, but to lovingly, relentlessly prepare them for a surrender that must be total and humble. They are being led to their own moment of truth. This naturally leads to a point of intense vulnerability for you. Doubt. How can you be sure? How can you know these intuitions, these signs? This deep knowing isn't just an elaborate, beautiful, wishful thinking constructed by a lonely or hopeful heart. This is the essential practice of discernment, learning to distinguish between the noisy chatter of your own mind and the clear language of synchronicity. Illusion, the mind's fantasy, feels frantic. It is rooted in fear. What if I lose them? And lack. I need them to be happy. It exhausts you. It has you chasing signs, obsessively interpreting texts, and clinging to breadcrumbs. True synchronicity, the universe's nudge, feels like grace. It is effortless. Meaningful coincidences arrive unbidden, perfectly timed, and carry with them a deep sense of peace. a click of recognition that feels like confirmation, not desperation. Think of the signs you've received, an unexpected message that echoes a thought you just had. Seeing their name or a number sequence associated with them repeatedly in impossible contexts. A moment of profound, inexplicable calm washing over you when you think of them. These are not your mind's creations. These are the universe nodding in agreement, winking at you from behind the veil of ordinary reality. All of this intricate, sacred preparation, your inner alchemy, their silent struggle, the universe's orchestration, converges toward a single inevitable point, the turning point. This will not be a subtle, maybe I'm reading into it hint. It will be a clear, tangible shift in the energy, an action, a communication, or an event born not from guilt, loneliness, or fleeting impulse, but from clarified seeing and profound humility. It will be their moment of surrender, not to you personally, but to the truth they can no longer deny, the truth your soul has known all along. This turning point will arrive in divine timing, which is the most frustrating and perfect form of timing there is. It is the precise moment when both of you have reached the minimum level of inner maturity, healing, and sovereignty required to sustain a connection that won't repeat old, painful cycles. If it happened tomorrow before your inner work was complete, you'd likely fall right back into the same dynamic that may have caused pain before. The pause was therefore absolutely necessary. Your final task, as you sense this shift on the horizon, is to prepare yourself not to grasp, but to receive from a place of fullness, not emptiness. Let go of the script you've written in your head about how it should happen. Forgive the journey, the pain, the confusion, the silence. It was all part of the curriculum. Stay centered in the profound peace you've worked so hard to cultivate within your own temple. The reunion, when it crystallizes, will not be two desperate souls clinging to each other. It will be the conscious, joyful coming together of two entire radiant worlds. Please hear this final truth and let it anchor you. Your intuition has never led you astray. This person is woven into the fabric of your destiny for a reason that serves your soul's highest growth. What you share is not a fleeting, dramatic chapter. It is a key, a catalyst for your own awakening. The love that originates at the soul level is not diminished by distance or silence. It is refined by it, purified, strengthened. The universe isn't playing with you. It is orchestrating a reconciliation of consciousness, preparing a meeting not of need, but of conscious choice. So, stay in your light. Tend to your own garden with love and patience. Trust the peace that is growing inside you, the peace that is your truest compass. The path is unfolding, not randomly, but perfectly. You are exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn. The story is far from over. In many ways, the most beautiful chapter is just now being written.